this is a game. None of it's real.
This is reality. Your insinuations are absurd, Sir Joe. They make no sense at all. They contradict everything I have ever known. They contradict common sense. Contradict everything I see, everything I touch, everything I smell, everything I feel, everything I hear.
Uh-huh. You can actually smell the grass and touch the sand.
Look, I'll
And
admit that the
feel
grass
it.
doesn't emit the strongest odor, but can you not smell just the general... The sheep certainly have a rather strong smell, and for good or ill, it's quite distinctive.
Nope. We haven't made games with smells yet. We tried making movies with smells, but they lingered too long, they drowned out the good smells, and people didn't like them, so we stopped.
Are you saying that you have no sense of smell, that your people
Oh,
have
no,
lost
no, we
it,
have a sense
or...
of smell. We just stopped making, like, entertainment media through smells. It's a lot harder to manipulate than, like,
Ah, so you're saying
pictures
that
and
that
music.
the sensory input that you receive from your avatar, the machine or device or whatever it is, does not include smell. I understand. That does not change the fact, however, that I can smell.
You really think you can smell this grass, this
I'm smelling it
flat,
right now.
textured polygon of grass?
Textured polygon. Whatever are you talking about?
Talking about what the games are made of.
What do you mean? The grass is made out of atomic particles of cells. I'm afraid I'm not much of a chemist or a biologist. I did not get into much detail, but I'm not familiar with these polygons. Or you mean just shapes? Well, I suppose that technically everything is made out of shapes in a sense, but doesn't seem rather redundant. And what
Well,
do you...
when you're making a game, you need to represent objects somehow, and so you render things as shapes. And then you put, like, color and pictures on them so the shapes look like a thing.
Are you referring to the representations of reality that you have seen on your screen right now? You, the pilot, not you, the avatar.
Yes, but it's not reality.
Of course it is.
They are nothing more than the polygons and the representation.
I'm right.
Like,
I'm standing right
when I
here,
close the game, it all
and
stops existing.
the representations do perhaps, but the actual things that I am standing on, that I am seeing, that I am experiencing right now do not. Of course they don't. The world does not cease to exist once one falls asleep, only to be recreated at the moment one wakes up. It is not contingent on what we experience, it simply is.
Except you're not uncreated when you sleep. Your body is still there.
Of course it
When the
is.
game isn't running, there's nothing there. There's data that's not being accessed, but that's it.
Perhaps there's
It's
been
not...
Perhaps there's nothing being projected onto your screen, but that does not affect what actually is.
Well, the game doesn't render anything until you open it, man.
So there's nothing on your screen. Okay, that much we agree on. However, I do not see what that bearing this has on me and my surroundings. On
Well,
this, all of this
the
that you...
game...
Go on.
It's like... It doesn't just exist on the screen, man. It's like... It's rendering it and thinking how it should look, and then it sends it to the screen. You could send it to a different screen or adjust how much you see on the screen, but it's still being rendered. But when the game is shut off, even if your screen is on, it doesn't exist. It's not being projected to the screen because there's nothing to project.
The simulation ceases to exist, perhaps, but that just has no bearing on this. Do you see these flowers that I'm standing next to? These flowers right here.
Yes.
These are very real. I regret that you cannot smell
They're
them. It's a
about as
lovely
real as you
fragrance.
could get.
I'm
You
touching
can't
them right
smell
now.
anything, and they're, if viewed from the top, they're flat.
What are you talking about?
Like, I punch it,
Why would you
and it
just
just
destroy
turns
that
into a
beautiful
little
flower?
egg.
You
Now it's back.
killed it. You cannot just... You ripped it out from a... Just dropping it back down to the ground will not restore it to life, Joe. That was rather a cruel thing. That flower did nothing to you.
It's like, I punch it, and then it's perfectly fine.
So, Joe, you are currently punching plants, little flowers, and you have the nerve to accuse me of being mad.
You really think this is all real, don't you?
I know it is. Of course it is. The fact that you keep insinuating that it isn't is quite mind-boggling, really.
I'm the mind-boggling one.
Yes!
Really?
Of course you are. I'm speaking this nonsense about all of reality being an illusion.
This is like something out of the Matrix, dude.
The what?
I really think this is real.
What is this?
The Matrix. It's a movie. Watch it sometime.
A what? Oh, blast!
A
More
movie.
monsters.
One of those
Be careful,
moving picture
Sudo.
videos I mentioned before.
Where did that monster come from? Shall we prepare for battle?
It spawned. They do that.
Anyway, what is this movie device that you speak of?
In the Matrix, people think they're in the real world, but they're not. It's a simulation that computers have plugged them into, so it keeps them complacent while they use their bodies as batteries. It's really weird.
Sounds rather terrible.
It was. But everyone thought the world was real. But it wasn't. The only thing that confuses me is why you think this is as real as they did, because they were actually they had their brains plugged in, dude, and they could, like, they thought they were tasting food and feeling things. They were, like, in little pods, plugged into their brains.
Joe, my patience is wearing thin. You repeatedly accuse me of believing that everything that I have ever known is but a lie, a fabrication, that I am essentially mad, or an unwitting fool, or perhaps both, and then you have the gall to liken this to some sort of film of base entertainment crafted by your own people. Is that the long and short of it, or is it not?
Maybe in a condescending sort of way, yeah.
That's it then.
Now then, if you were frozen, as you say, where were you frozen? Where did you wake up? Why did you wake up?
It's a long hike, long hike from here. It's many miles and rather treacherous terrain. I'm afraid that we will not be able to hike back to that facility, at least not very easily. Still, with
Wasn't that just convenient?
Well, perhaps So, Joe, these portals you mentioned, I do have an idea. If we could engineer one, we could perhaps redirect it so that it transmits back to the facility where I was placed in stasis. Would that convince you that this is real?
It would, if such a thing were doable, which it's not.
Well, why not?
Because portals just take you to the Nether. That's how the game was made.
Well, if this is all a game, could you not re-engineer it so that it takes you somewhere else?
I don't know how to program. I just play games, bro. I don't make them.
Surely, the great and mighty Sir Joe, of many infinite talents, should manage to redirect a simple portal.
See, you're thinking I know how to do things. I just do the things in the game that anyone can do because it's programmed that way.
This train of thought is leading us nowhere. Well, how then do you propose that we reach the stasis region?
You know what? I'll prove it to you. I'll build a portal, and we'll go, and then we'll be in the Nether, and you'll have yeah.
You know what? Fine. Listen, hopefully this will lead us to the area where I was frozen, And if not, if it does lead us to an area of smoke, ash, and lava, well then so be it. Can't be much worse than being stuck here, arguing in circles with you.
No, I'd say it could be worse because of all the lava and the ghasts and the pigmen.
Okay, it can't be much worse. It does sound rather dreadful.
No, I'd say that's much worse.
We headed back down and then into the caverns to gather the materials for this portal.
Yeah, lava.
Alright then. So be it.